Today we are going to describe the design process and its control during the development of a new medical device. So as you know, once the concept of the product is finalized, the next step in the development phase is the design. So the design is the most important stage in the development cycle because a bad design may lead to inefficient and unsafe product. So basically the design process will have multiple design stages, and at each stage the design control process needs to be identified and implemented as a part of quality system requirement. So this is done to ensure the final product meets your customer goals and expectations. Also it enhances the quality and safety features of the product. So let's see what is the design control process, or what are the control measures which is described in the design control process. So this design control process is well defined in the FDA 21 CFR 82030 as well as ISO 13485. The content we are going through is also similar with a little detailed information. So the design control process contain 9 different stages. Those all are design and development plan, design input, design output, design review, design verification, design validation, design changes, design transfer, and design history file. So defining and implementing these 9 different control measures are so important because it gives we will be able to make sure that the end product work as intended and meet all the initial requirements. Also we'll be able to meet essential requirements necessary to achieve a high quality product. So we'll be able to establish a constant process throughout the stage. Also, we'll be able to identify the problems and inconsistencies at the early stages of the development of the product. Let us talk about the design and development plan. This is the first element in the design control of the medical device. Design and development plan will contain all the information related to the detailed design, the prototype development, the verification and validation activities to be performed, design transfer, the maintenance of design history file. All the informations will be listed there, and also the plan for the EAT activity duration, the resource, and the review process. Everything is included in this design and development plan. So few of the mandatory content which should be a part of the design and development plan I listed here. A few of them are the design and development activities and its detailed plan, the objectives and goals of the product, the information on the various department involved in the design and their roles, the breakdown of activities, other sub activities, and that so also it should have the time duration, the resource and its allocation, the individual responsibilities, the criteria for fulfilling each task, the team collaboration details. All these details to be a part of the breakdown activities. So the design and development planning, basically it's a living document. Initially it will be defined and approved by using a design control system, and later it will, whenever it's required, it will get updated, reviewed and again approved, majorly at the crucial moments of the project. What is design input? Design inputs are typically the initial requirements that describes the medical device to be produced. The initial requirements can be collected from different ways. It can be a functional performance or safety requirements of the product given by the end user, or it can be a business requirement, it can be a regulatory requirement, it can be output of risk management, or it can be a very product specific standards. So these all requirements to be properly documented and shall be reviewed and approved by designated individuals. Yeah, also we need to make sure the requirements are complete, well defined, and not in conflict with each other. When it is more clear, the development process also will become easier as a result. Next is design output. The design outputs are the results of the design and engineering efforts based on the design inputs. So as you know that once you have defined the design input, you will be getting into the core development process, and the end result of the core development process is the design output. So a few of the examples are the drawing specifications, the CAD files, the manufacturing instructions, the technical documentation, the biocompatibility results. So user manual. All these are examples of design output. Basically, almost all the deliverables associated with the design you can consider as a design output. Next is design review. A design review confirms the design or identify the problems. It can be a review of the design or technical files or hazard analysis or failure mode and defect analysis. So the design will be reviewed by the personnel from all the areas involved in the design stage, and it has to be reviewed and approved before it goes to the next stage. Next is the design verification. The design verification is where you test that the design output match your design input. So again, according to the FTA, the design verification is the confirmation by examination and provision of objective evidence that the specific requirements have been fulfilled or not. So how do we check that the design input meets the design output? So this is done by conducting testing or inspection or analysis which was suitable for your design output. Next is design validation. Here you validate the device design via examination, and objective evidence confirms that the final design output constantly meets the specific intended use. So basically, you're going to validate that the device you built work for the end user as intended. So a few of the examples for the design validation are the performance testing, the functional testing, the animal testing, the clinical evaluation, etc. So if you like to know more details regarding the difference between the design output and design input, and also the difference between the design verification and validation, you can check the other videos. So other videos you can see the little more explained explanations with the examples. Next is design changes. During the design verification and validation, if you find the device is not meeting the initial requirement or the design inputs, there is a chance of going back to the design and do the necessary changes. So this ensures that all the design changes are identified uh, and it is documented, again validated and verified with the proper review and approval prior to the implementation. Next is design transfer. The company should establish and maintain a procedure to ensure correct design transfer to the production specifications. Basically, we ensure that the design of the medical device is correctly translated to the production specification at this stage. So that is at this stage the device is advancing successfully from product development to the manufacturing. Next is the last one, the design history file. Design history file contain all the records which describes the design history of the finished device. Uh, the design history file include all the records and relevant documents and all other informations which is necessary to demonstrate that the design was developed in accordance with the design plan and quality system requirements. If you like to know more about the design history file, you can watch the other video where I explained a little more details with the mandatory files to be placed for the FDA inspection. This is all about the design control and design process and design control. Hope this is helpful. Uh, Please comment uh, uh, and stay tuned. Thank you so much.